So we're looking forward for possibilities, despite everything, to ensure our right of selling oil and to ensure a right of those who want to purchase oil to ensure the right to buy our oil. So, and we are working on creating a necessary environment for ensuring these rights. This is what I can tell you. Thank you.
As Russian President Vladimir Putin prepares to visit India on the 4th and 5th of December, the Kremlin has outlined a pact agenda, one shaped by global geopolitical pressure, US tariffs, defense cooperation, energy trade, and a new push for sovereign financial systems. In an unusually candid media briefing organized by Sputnik India, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov sketched out the landscape of discussions Moscow and New Delhi will navigate during the high-stakes visit. In his remarks, Peskov repeatedly underlined two themes: pressure over India from abroad and the shared need to continue and enlarge the volume of our bilateral business, not letting anyone interfere in that. The Kremlin spoke extensively about the impact of US pressure on India's oil purchases from Russia, particularly Washington's announced 25% punitive tariff on Indian imports of discounted Russian crude.
So we have mentioned the issue of tariffs already. It's rather a question of bilateral relationship between India and the United States. We cannot interfere in that, and we don't have the slightest intention in doing that. And we understand that there is a pressure. There is a pressure over India, and actually this is the reason that we have to be very careful in creating an architecture of our relationship that must be free of any influence coming from third countries. We have to secure our relationship. We have to secure our trade that brings mutual benefit. So trade can be only beneficial for both sides. And if we earn from this bilateral trade, we have to continue it. But we have to secure it from pressure from abroad. So it's a complicated issue, but there are certain experiences in that field. And we have to continue. We know that India is a very sovereign country. India is very sovereign in defending its national interests. And we do admire this characteristic of India. And our country is also sovereign. And we're also very sensitive on this right of sovereignty. And we are very sensitive on not letting anyone interfering in our benefits, interfering in our national interests. Some companies are slowing down the purchase. Some companies are enlarging the purchase. The system is very flexible, and it responds to additional pressure from third countries very vividly and in a very sophisticated way. So we're looking forward for possibilities, despite everything, to ensure our right of selling oil and to ensure a right of those who want to purchase oil to ensure the right to buy our oil. So, and we are working on creating a necessary environment for ensuring these rights. This is what I can tell you.
Peskov made it clear that Moscow sees the tariff as an issue between New Delhi and Washington, but not one that will affect Russia-India trade.
Even I think one day prior to the visit, there will be a congress, a forum of importers. So, and this will be an event in order to pursuing a goal to discuss the possibilities of increasing imports from India to Russia. So businessmen from both countries will be meeting together, and they will be searching for goods, for services, for investments, for other trade ways of trade, in order to ensure that Russia can buy more from India. So we know about this problem, and we know about concerns of India in that sense. I have no doubt that this question will be raised by our Indian friends during the visit. And so just be sure that we are working together. We're working together with our Indian counterparts in order to find ways to increase the amount of goods that we can purchase from India. Not only goods, but maybe services, and so on and so forth. So this is number one. Number two, yes, there are sanctions against Russian companies, against the sector of oil production, I would say. But nonetheless, we're finding ways not to let the volumes of trade down. There can be, for a very brief time, there can be insignificant drops and decreases in the volume of trade, of oil trade. But by the way, we consider those sanctions to be illegal from the point of view of international law. The only sanction can be considered legal when it is approved by United Nations Security Council. Unless it is not, it is illegal. So all these limitations, we do not accept them, and so we're doing our best to ensure that we continue our trade, and by the way, to ensure that our purchases enjoy possibility of guaranteed supplies of oil and oil products, and we're managing that quite successful. We have a deep experience in performing under regime of these illegal sanctions. We have our own technologies in doing that, and of course we'll continue to make those technologies more sophisticated should this practice of sanctions continue.
One of the biggest focus areas will be defense, where both sides are expected to negotiate major platforms. Peskov confirmed that the S-400 air defense systems and Russia's fifth-generation Su-57 fighter aircraft will be up for discussion.
President Putin is coming with a very wide delegation. We will have certain members of delegation that will be able to discuss this issue in details. I have no doubt it will be mentioned also on the highest level. The only thing I will say that our military industry is working pretty well, and during last 4 years we have managed to enlarge the volumes of production the way that we can not only satisfy the needs of our military forces during their military operation in Ukraine, but we also can allow continuation of export operations. Of course, this will be also the case for India. We're interested in continuation of cooperation in this very sensitive field, and hopefully we'll continue to do that. Also, for the benefits of India. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, the share of Russian as we call it special equipment, Russian arms, the share of Russian arms in the military forces of India is about 36%. It's quite a big digit. And hopefully will continue, and not only continue, but also enlarge the cooperation in this field. So, Su-57s, best plane in the world. Yes, it's not over-exaggeration. It's the best plane in the world, and the issue of Su-57s certainly will be on the agenda during the coming visit. So let's not speak about the details. There are lots of competitors in the world, and some of the competitors are not, let's say, sticking their business to international law. So sometimes they can do bad things in order to make unjust competition. But we're standing for just competition, and in just competition, someone can hardly compete with us in this field.
A lesser known but significant agenda item is the India-Russia Labour Mobility Agreement aimed at formalizing job flows and workforce movement between the two countries. Peskov said this agreement is under discussion. We hope that there will be progress during the visit. Relevant ministries in both countries are conducting negotiations. This could transform skilled labour pathways, particularly in infrastructure, energy and industry. One of the most closely watched elements will be the effort to build India-Russia payment systems that bypass Western financial channels. Peskov confirmed this will be central to the talks. Various methods of payments between the two countries will be on the agenda. How we have to create a real bilateral system or multilateral systems that could constitute an alternative for the systems that can be used as a political tool in order to put pressure on desired countries. We will not be able to make it public. Energy cooperation will also feature prominently, with Russia prepared to offer India its new generation small modular reactors. Peskov said the answer is yes, and the chief of the nuclear firm will be carrying an offer for this small reactor in his bag. Russia possesses this very important technology. I have no doubt that we'll be ready to discuss this issue with India and to supply these technologies to our Indian friends. This indicates an expansion beyond the Kundan-Kulam framework into new modular nuclear formats. For more updates on Putin's India visit, stay tuned to the official YouTube channel of the Indian Express.